What is up, everybody? Clint Esposito here with another episode of the Clint Esposito Show. It's number 18, I believe, depending on which, if you're on the audio feed or if you're on YouTube, I don't know. It used to be the Clint Files, then it's the Clint Esposito Show, so there's multiple numbers. Anyway, we're going with 18 because it sounds cooler, like I've been doing this longer, so that's what we're going to go with. Today I wanted to talk about, and I'm not trying to be, I don't have a side on this or whatever, but basically I'm just pointing out something that I'm like, maybe this could be a contributing factor. So today we know that there I'll just get right into it. We'll make everybody mad right off the bat. There is an influx of people that are trans, wouldn't you say, over the past, since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I'm 42. When I was a kid, I never even heard of that. There were like gay people and cross-dressers, and I didn't know that there was anything other than that. But apparently, I know everybody goes, there's stories that even way back in the day, the Native American Indian tribes had some people that were androgynous or whatever. So I will say that, okay, throughout time there have been some people that felt that way. But I feel like now it's like, is it that there are so many people claiming to be trans that it became fashionable, or is it something else? You know, a lot of people go, oh, it's a mental disease. And I'm like, I don't know that that's necessarily true either, because of what I'm about to talk about. So right here I have pulled up Nature World website, 4 reasons why food is less nutritious than it used to be. This seems like a rabbit hole, I know, but I'll get there. So food now is less nutritious than it used to be years ago. Why? There's less nutrients in the soil. There's something in here about it. Over farming, they're using factory farming. They're doing the exact same fields or same crops in the same fields year after year, where you would not do that in the past. You would do one type of crop there, and then next year you do another crop. If you go even further back into nature, right, and you have these big fields that, let's say, the bison are roaming around eating, you know, it's not just all sunflowers or grass or whatever. There's a bunch of stuff there. Not to mention all the bugs that are then coming in to interact with those plants, and then the animals eating that, and then pooping, and then that being left into the soil to help the soil. So the foods inherently, well, not inherently, I guess we're forcing it, are getting less and less nutritious because we're so smart and we know how to produce stuff in bulk, one at a time in this big field, you know, and now we've come up with GMO and this and that. So now it's like switching the crop out in the field is even further away from our minds, because we're like, we'll just make some seeds that grow, you know, better. Pesticide use, that's also ruining the soil. So not only are they spraying pesticides on the crops and stuff like that to keep the bugs off it, they're actually genetically modifying plants to have some of those chemicals in them so that bugs and stuff don't want to eat them inside the plant. The problem with all this stuff is, guess what happens to it when it rains? Even the stuff that's inside the plant, it ends up spreading into the soil, into the water, into everything else. Which is basically next one, pollution. You know, and so that's, you know what I mean? I would say that the pesticides, obviously, I would put that under pollution as well. Stuff in the air, all that type of, you know, Good stuff. There we go. Let me switch. So now we're going to go to how do vitamins, or why do vitamin deficiency affect your hormones? So here's why does hormone imbalance occur. Hormone levels changes occur naturally at certain times in our lives during puberty, in pregnancy, and during the menopause. That's actually what it says. Hormone imbalances can be caused by an unbalanced lifestyle, inadequate nutrition, stress, and environmental toxins. So this is where we're going with all this. So now, and this goes through everything: environmental factors, things you eat, stress, medication, and these are all affecting your hormones. So we all know that lots of people are deficient in, right here, vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually a hormone itself. So if you're deficient in vitamin D, you're actually missing a hormone. Vitamin B6 and PMS. Let's see what this says. B6 can help alleviate some of the symptoms of premenstrual syndrome. Vitamin E and menopause. Here, I'm not even going to read through all this. Vitamin B3 and stress. My point is that then it goes to balancing your hormones. So, I didn't even read this. The contraceptive pill and suppression of progesterone, which I was going to get to that. So you have all these, your food's now deficient. It's getting sprayed with chemicals. There's chemicals in the air from whatever, your car, you want to blame it on the car, cow farts. Cows are just out there farting up a storm, and they're making the air pollution filled, all right? Then we go and we give contraception to women like it's candy. What are you, 12? You have an issue with your period? Here's a pill that's going to change the amount of hormones you have in your body. Here, vitamin D, vitamin B vitamins for your hormones and deficiency checklist. Again, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and all these things are affecting your hormones. Your body is basically a gigantic chemistry set, right? So if you don't have some of these, your body's not doing certain things. Mineral deficiencies. What causes mineral deficiencies? One major cause of mineral deficiency is simply not getting enough essential minerals from food or supplements. There are different types of diets that may result in this deficiency. A poor diet that relies on junk food, or a diet that lacks adequate fruits and vegetables can be possible causes. Alternately, a low-calorie diet may produce this deficiency. This includes people in weight loss programs or with eating disorders. Older adults with poor appetites may also not get enough calories or nutrients in their diet. Hold on right here. Restrictive diets may also cause you to have mineral deficiency. Vegetarians, vegans, and people with food allergies or lactose intolerance might experience mineral deficiency if they fail to manage their diet effectively. You heard that. Vegans, vegetarians, which seems to be the way that mainstream diet culture, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't even say that. I hate that phrase, actually. Hate it. But mainstream, I guess those are diets. You know, the word is convoluted now because, you know, diet is just what you eat, period. The fact of people being like, I'm on a diet, like we're all eating food, we're all on a diet, doesn't make any sense. They've made just the term diet of what you eat now is like, they vilified it, so now it's like, you're like, ooh, diet. But that's just what you eat, okay? Once you get on something stupid where you can't have, you know, like most of the foods that are good, or like you're now trying to figure out how to not die because you're eating this diet, I would say that's something else. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I got off on a tangent. Okay, so we're going through all that. Now let's go to endocrine disruptors. Now there's a bunch. BPA, dioxins, I don't even know what that is. I'm not even going to try to read most of these. You can read them yourself on here. Okay, so how do people incur endocrine disrupting chemicals? Basically, all day long, you're exposed to chemicals that are disrupting your endocrine system. So basically, your endocrine system and your hormones is like a, I don't really even know what the hell your endocrine system is. Endocrine systems are also referred to as hormone systems. Are found in all mammals, birds, fish, and many other types of living organisms. They are made up of glands located throughout the body, hormones that are made by the glands and released into the bloodstream or the fluid surrounding cells, and receptors in various organs and tissues that recognize and respond to these hormones. Okay, so that sounds fairly important, right? It sounds like it to me. So now you have all these endocrine disruptors. Okay, so now basically that whole system of making hormones and then getting them into your body is being disrupted. Basically what this says. And then endocrine and glands and hormones. I already had this pulled up. The endocrine system consists of specialized groups of cells called glands that make, store, and release regulated chemicals called hormones directly into the bloodstream to regulate how the body functions. Some of the endocrine glands include the adrenals, chemoreceptor organs, gonads, testes and ovaries, hypothalamus, pancreatic islets, parathyroid, pineal, pituitary, and thyroid. These glands secrete hormones that travel through the circulatory system to regulate the various body systems. A few of these hormones include steroids, growth hormones, and thyroxine. There you go. So, like I said, sounds fairly important. You would want that system working, like fairly well, I would imagine. So we're going to go to toxic chemicals found in many cosmetics. That's right. The makeup you're smearing onto your face, ladies, actually has endocrine disruptors in it. I don't have any more stuff saved to read through, but the sunscreen that you use, tons of chemicals in it, disrupting your endocrine system. You're being told to eat vegan or vegetarian. Now, that does not have, and this I don't need any articles to tell me this, but fruits and vegetables are great for you. You have to have fruits and vegetables, but the vitamins and minerals in there are not as bioavailable as they are in animal foods. We don't have multiple stomachs to be able to break down grass and stuff like that and turn it into fat. So basically a lot of people are being pushed towards vegan and vegetarian diets, which then we also know that the fruits and vegetables are not as nutritious as they used to be because our soil is junk and the way the stuff's being farmed. So now even fruits and vegetables aren't as nutritious as they used to be, and you can't absorb all that nutrition out of them anyway. Fruits and vegetables don't have a lot of the things that, and I only bring this up, I am a meat person, but I only bring this up because people are being pushed that way. And then we seem to have all these issues like guys having low testosterone, women having, estrogen and progesterone issues, guys being infertile, women being infertile. Then you have the next step of people believing that they were born in the wrong body. Well, if you are this super complex chemistry set, which we are, and now you remove a couple of the elements that you need, which you could read all day about vitamin D deficiency, vitamin B deficiency. There's a million deficiencies out there. Like I said, vitamin D is its own hormone. So now if you have all these people, everybody needs ED pills, right? 100 years ago, did anybody have erectile dysfunction? I guarantee you nobody even knew what that was. There was holes in walls everywhere just from people with hard-ons just trying to turn corners, taking walls out. Like, now we're all just so wimpy, everybody's got to get hymns ordered through the mail with a blank envelope so that people don't see that his wiener doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, when did this happen? When did this happen? Nobody else is like, this is strange. It's got to be something other than just there's lots of trans people in the world. There's just dicks don't work anymore. Nobody's thinking any of this is weird. So you basically have a lot of this. This is why it's so important to vet everything, right? Because you have seed oils in your food. That's not helping anything. You have foods that are not, have basically no nutritional value, which is most fast foods and all that stuff, which also contain seed oils. Then you have all these chemicals that are in your clothes, these shorts even, they're nylon. There's endocrine disruptors in these shorts. And then have your phone next to your head all day or next to your package as well. And then you put your sunscreen on, after you already put your makeup on. And then you live under the power lines. And, so all day, we're just, you have microplastics in your water and in all this food that you buy at the store that's just, comes pre-packaged for you in their microplastic container, So now all this stuff compounds. You're just constantly being inundated from day one. Think about it now, little babies, the mom has tons of microplastic. She's been exposed to, I haven't even gotten to SSRIs and depression medication and other medication that's also creating a heavy load on some of your organs so that they can process that and expel it. So now what does your body have to do? Use more of certain minerals for those processes. We're overloading our bodies with all this other stuff so that it can't do we also don't, I know everybody's fasting, but so we just don't give our body, let's not even call it fasting. We don't go long enough without eating so that your body's not still processing food so that it can be like, oh, I can do all these hormone processes and repair tissue and make hormones and all that stuff, because your body's just constantly trying to break down all this food that you gave it. It's probably junk because it's sugar and because it's got seed oils and it's super ultra processed. So what I'm saying here, this is a long way around. What I'm saying is I think that, and I'm not being judgmental. Anybody you could be a Smurf if you want to identify as a Smurf. I don't care. But in the last 40 years of my life, the influx of people that are now trans seems really, really large. Like, what else has changed in society? That's just the way people are. That's just the way people are. They've just changed that much in the last 30 to 40 years. I just have a hard time believing that it does not correlate to our food becoming less and less nutritious. We're having more and more fertility issues. We're having boner issues. We're having, hormone issues. And so think about all these hormones are made to make you feel a certain way. So now if you're in a woman's body but you don't have enough estrogen or progesterone, or you have too much testosterone, or you're the other way, you're a guy but you have super low testosterone and you've been eating all this soy products, which is basically synthetic estrogen, and then you're like, I don't feel like a man. Well, no shit, you don't feel like a man. You don't have hormones like a man. No, you don't feel like a woman. You don't have hormones like a woman. And guess what happens when these hormones get low? You get moody, you get, agitated, you don't, so then now of course you don't feel right. You don't have the correct hormones that you're supposed to have. And all of it comes down to nutrition. Who said it? Who was the Plato? Was he the doctor guy? Socrates said, let food be thy medicine? Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine.
Medicine be thy food.
And medicine be thy food. There you go. I got help with it. But, yeah. We're going directly past go with all this, and nobody's addressing just nutrition and nutrient deficiencies, and we're like, how can that, and mineral deficiencies. And I'm pretty sure that there's tons of other things in food that we're not even quantifying on the back on these labels, like peptides and hemoglobin and all kinds of stuff that is not listed on the back of your nutritional information. Tons more, probably more stuff not listed on there than is listed on there that our bodies need, and we just don't understand. And we've at the tip of the iceberg, and we're like, no, we're gonna grow meat in a lab. No, don't worry. I mixed all these things together and it has the same amino profile as meat, or similar. It's not the same, people. It's not the same. We're not smarter than nature. I hate to break this to a lot of you. I don't care about your science. I don't give a shit. We're not smarter than nature. Millions of years it took to come up with these systems for us to develop into what we are now, and we're gonna throw the towel in on that, and we're just gonna mix up a bunch of bullshit together, and we're gonna grow unnatural stuff here, and that's gonna be the best way. And we're gonna learn we can replace hearts. Well, guess what? 200 years, 300 years, they didn't have to replace hearts, because guess what? They didn't have heart disease like we do because they weren't trying to outsmart nature. All right, so there you go. I think that the influx of people that feel like they're in the wrong body, I'm not saying that they're wrong. What I'm saying is that there's something causing it. They weren't just born into the wrong body. I think that there is a deficiency of hormones, and it's making them feel uncomfortable in their own body. So that's it, people. How come the people that are born with both genitals, I guess do they have gonads? Do they have ovaries and testicles?
I don't know if they have.
You would be super confused at that point.
Yeah.
Or you just have one or the other and you have an extra hole.
We'd have to look that up, but
I'm sure it happens all different ways.
yeah, but I think it's very rare that
very rare
happens.
But my point, I guess, my point is if they ever just let anybody ride with that, they're just like, all right, you're just gonna keep ovaries and testicles and see how this goes.
I feel usually when that happens, the parents decide.
Oh so shit! What if you chose wrong?
So when a baby is born with both, at birth, the parents make.
Come on, they get a choice?
Yeah, because it's you.
Well, you just snip the balls, right? I mean, that's the easier way to go.
I don't know.
That's terrifying thought to have to make that decision. Anyway, all right, that was beyond. That's another scenario. But anyway, hormones are important, people. That's why we got them. It's what makes men. Like, listen to this statement. And I had that in one of the articles I had pulled up, and I just didn't read through enough. But hormones are literally what make men men and women women. Listen to that again. Hormones are what make men men and women women. So if your hormones are deficient or screwed up, guess what happens? You got it. All right, people. I got a bunch of good ideas for shows. I think doppelgangers are just us on different dimensional timelines. There's only so many molds. We're going to discuss that. And I don't remember what the other ones, but I got a bunch of good things I want to go over as well. So, all right, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you, even though I'm awkward to people and I can't show it. I'm sorry. Bye.